The Farmer and the Unseen Roots. In the quiet of the countryside, under a sky streaked with the early morning light, there lived a farmer named Lee. His hands, weathered by years of toil, were as familiar with the soil as they were with the sweat of hard work. Yet, despite his years of experience, he was about to make a decision that would change the course of his harvest forever. It was the time of year when the plants in his field had started to reach their peak. The sun had warmed the earth and the crops had grown tall, their green leaves dancing in the wind. Lee had spent months tending to them, watering them, nurturing them with all his knowledge. But this year something felt different. For days, a nagging thought had tugged at his mind. What if I can harvest earlier this year? What if I can take advantage of this early growth? The thought seemed like a promise, an early reward for his hard work. But it was a dangerous promise, one that would unravel when the roots were pulled too soon. One morning, Lee couldn't stand it any longer. He grabbed his sickle and headed out to his field, determined to claim the bounty he thought was ready. He looked out over the sea of plants and, with a sigh of relief, began uprooting them one by one. The soil was soft, the roots coming up easily, but as the plants left the ground, something began to feel off. The plants seemed smaller than they should have been. They didn't have the thick, robust roots Lee was used to seeing. His heart skipped a beat, but he shrugged it off. After all, they were still green and full of life. But as he continued, doubts began to creep in. Why did some plants feel fragile, almost hollow? Why did the soil smell faintly wrong? It was as if the earth itself was protesting his actions. The seeds had not yet fully taken hold. The potential was still growing beneath the surface, hidden, unseen. Hours passed, and by the time Lee stopped, his field lay bare. The ground was torn up, the plants left to wither, their future harvests lost. A sinking feeling settled in his stomach. He stared at the field, the weight of his mistake crushing him. The sun had now fully risen, casting a harsh light over the scene, revealing what he had done. The plants were stunted, their roots too shallow to support them. He had taken them too early. As the days went by, the full scope of his mistake became clear. The plants that had seemed so full of promise withered in the sun. His harvest was lost, the crops that could have thrived with a little more time now lifeless. He had uprooted their potential too soon, never giving them the chance to grow deep, to take hold, to reach the fullness they were destined for. Lee sat on the edge of his field, looking at the barren earth. The lesson was clear now, though it had come at a heavy price. Some things, like growth, cannot be rushed. The roots of life need time to dig in, to strengthen, before they can bear fruit. And in that quiet moment, as the wind swept across the empty field, Lee understood. The harvest was not just about what he could see on the surface. It was about what lay hidden beneath. And sometimes the unseen roots were the most important part of all. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share and subscribe to help the channel grow.